Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're well. Just want to say happy Tuesday. Today is the day after Memorial Day, and yesterday was a day that we take time to remember people who are in our armed forces, people who have served our country, and we want to memorialize them. We want to remember them, give them thanks, and really let them know that we remember them as they put their lines on the lives to make sure that we are our free country and safe here in America, and for our Americans who are living and working all across the world. They try to keep us safe, and so yesterday was Memorial Day. So, in spirit of kind of giving thanks, even though those people are dead, I want us to think about people who we can say thank you to today that are with us and that have really been super strong in our community during our pandemic of COVID 19. So, we are a lot of the same kind of people that are always on the news, or we're mentioning in passing about nurses, EMT, doctors, teachers, really kind of being people to thank, and that is very true. However, there are so many more people that get overlooked that I really want us to really think about, and think about when they're working for us, that they're not with their own families. So they're really on the front lines as well. So I thought today we can kind of make a short list and then put together maybe a thank you note if you choose to write one. After this, I'll show you kind of an outline of what a thank you note could look like. And then for the activity today, you can decide if you want to pick one of these categories to write to, and write them a letter. And maybe if you see them, you can, or if you know a place you want to put it, you can find the address online or give it to mom and dad, and they can mail it out for you, or you can just write it and hang on to it. So you don't even have to mail it if you don't want. But before we do that, let's get thinking about some people to thank during COVID-19. People who really are on the front lines doing the work to make sure that things are getting done, and they're helping people even when we're at home. Okay? So I mentioned a few first. One is nurses. Okay? So a nurse is somebody who really helps a doctor. And they're the ones that do the bedside manner. When you come in, they take your temperature, they check your blood, they listen to your heart, they ask you how you're feeling. They really do more of the welcome to the doctor, welcome to the hospital work. They might give you a little shot. The doctors do more of the bigger work. And doctors really get a lot more thank yous every day from people, but sometimes we tend to forget about the nurses who do a lot of equally, if not sometimes more important work. So nurses are somebody we can really hold on to. And I will put up doctors because they're working long, hard hours trying to find out, doctors, or let's say scientists. These people are trying to find cures so we don't get sick anymore. Really can help each other, right? So nurses are really taking charge of working with you one-on-one to make sure that you're okay. And the doctors, once they find out if you're sick, they really give you a lot of more information of how to get better. And the scientists are helping us find a cure, okay? Somebody else I was thinking about are firefighters, okay, or EMT. Whenever you're sick and the ambulances come, that works through the fire department. I never knew that. So firefighters, and I'm going to put EMT, emergency medical technicians. They're the people that drive the ambulances and take you, if you're home, to the hospital. Or they take you from the hospital to home if you need to be, or from somewhere to somewhere. If you can't get from your own home to somewhere where there's doctors and nurses, the emergency medical technicians, the EMTs, work with the firefighters. So when you call 911, you're actually calling these people. And then they send somebody to come get you and bring you to a hospital or a doctor's office. So they're really important. Also, when we're home, if there's ever a fire, we know our firefighters put out our homes and help us try to find a new place to live while our homes are being rebuilt. Something else that's really important, I'm going to put up here, are delivery workers. I know that because I can't go into some stores, I would always go online and I would have things delivered to my house. Well, robots aren't going to do that. It's really important that we recognize and thank people who are taking their time and driving those big trucks from Amazon or Whole Foods or Safeway or wherever you're getting your things from, that they're working and they're not with their own families. So they're taking their time out and they're wearing masks and they're really kind of doing social distancing but they still want to make sure we get what we need when we're out of toilet paper or spaghetti, or we need more cleaning supplies or face masks, that they're there doing their work. Okay? Or even if you get a restaurant and you're ordering from Grubhub or OpenTable, any food delivery is coming from a car. Somebody is away from their own family, not being as safe as they need to be because they're not home, but they're working to make sure we get what we have. So delivery people for food and supplies are really, really important. So you can see them in trucks or in cars. But anyone who delivers food or things to your house, please make sure you say thank you to them. I know I do. When I go to the store, sometimes when I'm allowed inside, there's some certain spaces. They let a few people in at a time. To help me look for things are the grocery workers, people who work there. Grocery. What they do is they make sure that all the food and supplies are on the shelves. Thank you. They make sure that when I'm ready to pay for my things, they check me out. Thank you. If I need help putting all my groceries in bags, they help me there. Thank you. They also clean the carts or the handles on the baskets that I have. They wipe down those carts. They wipe down everything when people use them. Thank you. I don't say thank you to them enough, but I'm going to start doing it a lot more now. Or I have been since this COVID-19 situation happened. So we have nurses, doctors and scientists, firefighters and EMT, people who drive the ambulances and put out fires. Grocery workers, people who are in the stores helping us get the things we need to be okay at home. And then people who help us if we can't leave our homes, they deliver it from the store to us. Big thank you for all these people. A couple other ones that I was thinking about are police. I know sometimes that some people might get scared and they might forget to wear a mask, or they might need help in other ways. And so police are always there to make our community feel safe. So every time I see a policeman or policewoman on the street or responding to something that might be something they need to answer to, I say thank you, because they're trying to keep those people safe, they're trying to keep themselves safe, and they're trying to keep our community safe. So thank you to the police. And also, people who work in restaurants. Restaurant workers. It's the cooks, it's the people who prepare the food, people who put them in the bags, people who take our orders, people who give us our food when we get there, because sometimes I have to take my bike, or I walk, or I drive, and I go to the corner, or I go to the curb, and I get my food, and I say thank you. So all the people that cook the food, help get it ready, get it to me, all those people are not at home, and they're at work. So they're away from their family, away from their own friends, away from their own safety by being at home. They're putting themselves out there to really make sure that more of us get what we need. So thank you to them. I would be starving if I didn't have our restaurant workers. And then finally, something that my roommate had told me about is a big word. It's basically like something called telecommunications. I'm going to put it. It's a tele, which is like phone, tele, and then communications. So what does that mean? That means thank you to all the people who work in technology, who created Zoom, who created Seesaw, who created Google Hangouts. These people are working with the telephones, making sure that my phone line is working so I can call people, my friends. Making sure that my internet is working at home so I can have my classes with you. Making sure that I can communicate from my home to your homes using computers and phone. That's all telecommunications. So thank you to Verizon, thank you to AT&T, to Zoom, to Facebook, to Seesaw. These people make it possible for us to communicate together. So thank you. So now I have a couple people who I might want to thank. I'm going to move this over, and I'm going to show you an example of a thank you letter you could write to someone just to show appreciations. Okay, I will tilt this here. Here we go. All right. So friends, here's my sample letter. Thank you. Up here, I'll put the date. Okay? Here, now when I write my letter, I'm not going to write what's underneath. It just reminds me what goes where. A greeting in their name. Thank you very much for, and I'm going to tell them what I'm thanking them for on this line. When you help us It makes us feel, so I'm letting them know how their help is really making me feel, or my community feel. I hope you are healthy, period. You do great work. And I might even put an exclamation point there. So first I'm going to do my date. Today is 5, I like to do a dot, that's fine, 25th of the year 2020. I put my date, my month, my year, and my month, my day, and the year. Next, I want a greeting and a name. Now, I don't know every nurse or firefighter or utility worker's person's name. That's okay. I might use their title. So I could say greeting, hello, good afternoon, good morning, whatever I want. I'm gonna say hello. Or I'm gonna say dear, actually, because I'm writing directly to them. Dear. And now I might pick somebody from over here. Let me say, I'm gonna say, dear, I'm gonna do restaurant workers. So I'm just gonna write in general, restaurant workers. Dear restaurant and I'm going to go with more space. That's okay. I wasn't sure how big I was going to write, but that's okay. Dear restaurant workers, comma. Okay, now I'm telling you who I'm writing it to. Thank you very much for, I'm going to think what I'm thankful for of what restaurant workers do. Well, they make the food for me to eat. Okay, so thank you very much for making me food when I do not cook. And friends, you know I don't cook at all, so I've been eating out a lot. I'm telling them what I'm thankful for. Dear restaurant workers, thank you very much for making me food when I do not cook. When you help us, it makes us feel. How do I feel? I feel really grateful. Grateful. And this grateful is actually spelled, this great is spelled differently than, oh, that's great. Okay, grateful, period. I hope you are healthy. You do great work. Goodbye, and my name. I might say love, because I really want them to know that I'm really appreciative, comma, and I'm going to say Daniel. I'll say Daniel Lauscher. I'll just say Daniel. They don't need to know my last name. I don't know their names, but they just know that I'm Daniel. So maybe if they see my face when restaurants open back up, they might say, oh, I got your letter. And then here, I might want to do either a picture. It could be of me. It could be of a restaurant. It could be anything. I left this space here if you want to do a picture, but you don't have to. So let's review. Thank you. The date up here, 5/25/20. Dear, my greeting, and the name. Well, I don't know their name, but I'll do the title. Restaurant workers. Thank you very much for, and I said what I'm thankful for, making me food when I do not cook, period. When you help us, it makes us feel grateful. I hope you are healthy, period. You do great work. Love, Daniel. Maybe I'll do Daniel M. And then what I can do is I have a couple of choices. Now that I wrote my letter, I can either find a restaurant that I know of, and whenever I go there or my grown-up goes there, I can hand it to them and say, this is for you. Or I can look online if I was doing a hospital or a fire. Your grown-ups can help you if you actually want to mail it to a place, okay? We don't need their names. If it goes to a hospital, it will go to any nurse or any doctor. If it goes to Zoom headquarters, it can go to anybody. Grocery store, if you go to Whole Foods, anyone who gets this will appreciate it, okay? And so there's our thank you. Here, maybe I'll do maybe a love. I'm still growing as a drawer, so I'm just showing that I really am thankful to these restaurant workers. And that's it. Okay, friends. So I'm going to go. I hope you give us a go, and off you pop.